Hello everyone. Guess who just did this video and forgot to put the microphone on? I'm going to be really good at it now, I'm sure. Second time lucky. Okay, so we looked at reading tablature, single string stuff, so we used the E minor, A minor pentatonic, and we looked at how it worked in tablature. Next thing is probably reading chords. I think this is really useful. And we look at chord charts. Now, we know our strings, because again from earlier videos, if you get stuck with those, just look at some of our earlier videos. But the thickest string is an E, second thickest is an A, then we've got a D, a G, a B, and the thinnest is an E. So E, A, D, G, B, and E. Okay, now a chord chart. Whew. Try and draw a straight line here. Yeah, kind of straight. No, I'll get practicing my lines. Okay, we've got 6 lines, vertical lines. The reason being, we've got 6 strings on our guitar. So here's a guitar, 6 strings, and the strings are E, A, D, G, B, and E. So thickest string to thinnest string. So the thickest string's on the left hand side to the thinnest string. Now, horizontal lines. The very first one is the top nut. Now the top nut on the guitar is this, keeping the strings in place. They look different on all guitars, but it's either the metal or the plastic bit, just keeping those strings from moving. Next one is our first fret, second fret, third fret, and fourth fret. So these are our frets. First fret, second fret, third fret. Okay, so what do we know so far? It's basically a picture like this. We've got our top nut, thickest string, second thickest string, third thickest string, third thinnest, second thinnest, thinnest string. So our strings are vertical and our frets are horizontal. Now, we've got a picture of the, well, very bad picture of my artwork, but we've got a picture of the fretboard. We've got to now know what fingers to put down to make the chord. Now, as we worked out last time, the chord, when we looked at power chords, the chord is more than 2 notes played together. So, with a guitar, we've got 6 strings, so in principle we could strum 6 strings together to make a 6-note chord. We're going to look at an E minor chord. Now, chords run from A to G. You have major and minor. They're the main chords we're going to look at first. So, let's look at an E minor, because we're going to use 2 fingers. The reason I've chosen an E minor is because we've got no crosses on. We're going to play all of the strings. These are our fingers, the circles here. And you know, before when we read tablature, we put our fingers just slightly behind the frets. Exactly the same principle with chords. So our fingers are just behind the frets. 1, 2. I want you to use on your fretting hand the first and second fingers. So we know this is a picture of our guitar like so. I've got thickest strings open, second thickest string. I've got a second fret, because there's the first fret. Here's the second fret. The D string, the third thickest string, I've got a second fret as well. So there's a chord. And if you find it's quite difficult to get them both on the same fret, so if they stagger them slightly, so one's slightly behind, so one's slightly further up, that's fine. So can you see how that looks like what I'm holding there? So I've got 1 and 2, first and second finger down, on the second and third thickest strings on the second fret. Now if I strum all of those, let's see. We've got an E minor chord. Already sounds like a Pink Floyd song. Okay. Put that guitar down. Let's look at another chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our 6 vertical strings. Our top nut. Horizontals are your frets. So first, second, third, thickest string to thinnest. So E, A, D, G, B, E. We're going to try a D chord. D is quite difficult because you use 3 fingers on your fretting hand. 1, a 2, and a 3. The reason I've chosen D is because I'm going to get rid of those 2. So your 2 thickest strings, gone, out the equation. You know that because they're crosses. So if you see crosses on strings, forget it, you're not playing them. So 2 thickest strings have gone. third thickest string, which is our D, hasn't got any fingers on, so it's an open. Then I want to use a first finger on the G on the 2nd fret. Second finger I'm going to use on the thinnest string, the E, on the 2nd fret. And in between those, on the B, so the second thinnest string, I'm going to use the third finger there. So, we know we're not playing the 2 thickest strings. Third thickest string, the D's open. Then we've got a 2nd fret on the G, a 2nd fret on the thinnest string on the E, and I'm going to use my third finger on the 3rd fret on the second thinnest string. So, I'm holding up my guitar like the chart, and bang, there we go. So, from that chart I know 2nd fret, 3rd thinnest, the G, 2nd fret on my 2nd finger on the thinnest, and then 3rd in between. And I'm not playing my 2 thickest strings, so we've got a D chord. If you find when you play that, you get a bit of fret buzz or some notes don't ring on, persevere, you will get there with it, definitely. Now, what I wanted to do, perhaps look at playing E minor 4 times, and then D 4 times, because the hardest thing with chords when you're learning them, not only fretting them, but changing between, because as soon as you get your fingers, you think, oh yeah, got my finger in the right position here. You've got time to change again, always the way. So, E minor 4 times, where we can play all of the strings, jump into the D, E minor, and if you ever get stuck, just imagine it's just a picture of the fretboard. So Chord Chart is a picture of your fretboard. Good luck.